Stocks which has been in focus is the rice stocks, and we have the management of one company joining in. Priyanka Mittal, director of KRPL, now joins in. And Ms. Mittal, last time we spoke to you, you said that you were quite confident that by March end or beginning of April, you might see the government taking out the ban on non-basmati export. That ban still stays. Have you had any interactions with government or food ministry? Any sense that you get that this ban could get away, because the production has been quite robust?
It has been indeed. Several representations have been made to the government on how the Indian farmers and the Indian export community would benefit by opening up non-basmati. The government has had its own concerns on inflation, which perhaps the government is watching to see how it would be resolved. It has actually taken a first promising step in the direction by opening up certain South Indian varieties, Sona Masuri, Matta, etc. And we hope that in due course non-basmati also opens up. But I think the Indian government also realizes the global rice scenario, the global food scenario, and we believe that perhaps if not this quarter, next quarter, government should be opening up non-basmati.
In the event that does not happen, how are you seeing your revenues pan out? Because basmati exports itself is expected to yield higher realizations.
Absolutely. For the last 2 years, we've seen our revenues consistently grow, and that has not been dampened because of prohibition on non-basmati exports. In fact, we are a basmati focused company, and year on year we've seen our revenues grow. I think March, from a global buying perspective, buyers have waited to buy with an anticipation to perhaps dampen prices, but they're seeing that the prices remain resilient and buoyant. And so I think come April, May, June, because we'll be heading into Ramadan, we will be seeing a lot of buying pressure. Already our existing distributor network, we've seen people already place orders for Ramadan because they are worried about rise in prices. So we look to be in a very good position to benefit from the growing demand from our current distributor network globally.
You're still not utilizing your capacity 100%. I think when we last spoke, you were speaking of 30%, and that you will move up to a 50% of your extra capacity. What do you expect, therefore, to do? What do you expect to do, therefore, by way of revenues and margins, more importantly, in FY12?
You see, for us, we're more driven by margins than by top-line growth. We've seen a lot of people sell below cost in order to make up their revenue numbers. We believe in bottom-line margins and maintaining a healthy bottom line, which is why we've shied away from businesses which yield us negative returns. Having said that, just to answer your question on capacity utilization, you see the Dhuri capacity, which is presently at 30%, is acquired was set up actually at a very conservative, very prudent cost. So it does not hurt us that it's a latent capacity. Having said that, the cellar market has moved up this year. There's a lot of demand for cellar, which is up, which is what primarily what the plant produces. And so we hope to see that it will marginally increase. You see, Iran, which is primarily a Sela buyer, because of payment issues, because of credit, long open credits being extended, a lot of exporters have been adversely affected, to a significant extent. And fortunately we've shied away from that business. We are looking at newer markets to sell cellar to, which hopefully should increase our capacity realizations. But you have to understand, development of market is a long-term strategy. You can't really go in with a 10,000 ton, 20,000 ton position. So you look at it and then you build on it gradually. So that is what we intend to do going forward.
Okay, let's talk about your big brand India Gate, and what kind of pricing trend are you seeing in that? Is there any plan to change the pricing of this particular product compared to last year? What's been the realization of going by just this particular brand?
Well, India Gate has been our star product, our largest selling product the most dominant brand in the Middle East. We've seen latest numbers wherein certain Middle East markets where the sales have just dropped because of government buying, selling. We've still seen Indiagate maintain a plus 25% market share. Even in India, Indiagate continues to be the largest selling brand in India. We've not seen any drop in realizations at all. In fact, Indiagate has become, particularly Indiagate Classic, has become price inelastic in terms of consumers. I don't have numbers on just Indiagate per se, but we've seen our realizations domestically and internationally, both the demand and the realizations increase on a quarter-on-quarter basis. So the idea now going forward internationally as well as domestically is to consolidate our number one position, line extend the brand with more and more options. We've just launched Stella, Indiagate Stella, and its sub-variants and brokens in the domestic market, which has received good response. So the idea is to consolidate our position and grow from there.
Okay, well, one final question to you, Priyanka. You all have also focused on initiatives like contract farming and seed development. Lately, the government has allowed FDI in seed development. Are you all looking at it as an area that you will get into? Are you looking for foreign partners and foreign investment?
No, on the contrary, we have some international relationships ourselves. You see, the idea is to tie up with Indian agricultural universities because we are in the basmati industry, which is 100% research of it is centered around IARI, Pusa Institute. So we've already partnered with them, and we do seed development, seed multiplication. We have a QSDIP program. We've increased contract farming year-on-year basis. We started with UP, now we've done Punjab. We are presently at around 3 lakh acres. So you see, basmati is an indigenous product, and it's a GI product. So we wouldn't want to share that knowledge with outside seed companies. We already are actually facing threats with people trying to grow it in Philippines, in the US, etc. So we want to keep it in India.
Point taken. Priyanka Mittal, thank you very much for joining us with your thoughts.